The Curious Case of Son Goku KAIO-KEN 180,000 power level. So, Monday night, a subscriber of mine, Andre, sent me these screenshots from TikTok, and I was like, I was so confused. I was like, KAIO-KEN Goku in stores? Because it looks like this guy has a box. Like he grabbed the box from the shelf, right? And by the way, the name of the TikTok that this is from is called no.complaints_. And I'll post a screenshot of it. It's the same name. It's the same name on Instagram as well. But either way, these pictures were sent by Andre, and I'll plug Andre's TikTok as well. I think it's random_collector7 something. I'll put it up on the screen. Either way, I was like, a general release for KAIO-KEN Goku? Of course, immediately, since the age that we live in is fake news, basically, or fake stuff being falsified, you know, the age of AI generated things, and it's just so much stuff that can be fabricated very easily. I was a little skeptical, but I was like, damn, that box looks legitimate. So I send it to the action figure investigator. If you don't know who that is, that's what I call Burst ZG. That's what I call him, the action figure investigator. And you know, before you know it, Burst has some information. In fact, he ended up getting, by looking at the barcode and whatnot. I don't know what he specifically did with the barcode, but either way, he was able to get a link to order it from. So at that point, it was like, yo, is this legitimate? But of course, you know, because like I said, we live in an age of AI and easy fabrication, basically. There's a lot of people that was like, nah, this doesn't look legitimate. Look at the original box art. And in my head, I was like, well, that's not really a good reason, because they can easily change the box art, right? And for a general release, they would change it so you can distinguish between the two, because with this release, and we'll go through this in a moment, this has a completely different finish than the original release. The original release had that pearlescent finish, much like the Super Saiyan Blue KAIO-KEN Goku, which makes me think, in the future, will we get a Super Saiyan Blue KAIO-KEN Goku? That's a regular release, but like more of a matte finish, but it still has that red glow effect. Things to make you go, But also, in a bit, we're going to discuss, after we look at these pictures on no.complaint_'s Instagram page, we're going to talk about what we see in the image, and then we're going to discuss the implications of this release. So stay tuned. So now we're on No Complaints Instagram, and we're just going to swipe through the pictures real quick to just so we can see the differences, because of course I don't have the figure in hand. I never even got the original release, to be honest, because I just procrastinated on that. But either way, look, you know, the original release has the pearlescent finish. The new release, you can see it still has the plastic around the figure. Definitely a completely different look. Not a completely different look, but definitely a different look for sure. Undoubtedly, I would say one could be argued to be more representative of a anime look, and one could be more representative of a manga look, if you want to look at it that way. Expression, so gritting teeth face, looking off to the side instead of looking forward. Odd choice. Some hand poses. Let's see some more. Some nice hand poses from No Complaints. And yeah, that's about it. So now, I think the most juicy part is, what are the implications of this release? So now, the implications is right here on the screen. So if that S.h.figuarts Vegeta power level 24,000 didn't confirm the Ginyu Force getting a re-release, this definitely had to. Because the whole part where he did power up to that power level was against Ginyu right before he took his body. So, you know, if Captain Ginyu is going to get a re-release, then he definitely had to re-release the rest of the Ginyu Force. And if you don't know my theory on when the rest of the Ginyu Force is going to be released, I believe that it makes sense for them to release the rest of the Ginyu Force, not including Ginyu, because Ginyu probably will be just a reissue, a general reissue, right? But the rest of the Ginyu Force will be re-released at SDCC. Now that's not confirmed, that's my speculation, but I think it'll be released for SDCC because they were originally Premium Bandai exclusives, so they tend not to make Premium Bandai exclusives like the next time they release. They don't make them like regular releases. They still are some type of exclusive somewhere, and I think San Diego Comic-Con is the perfect place, specifically because they tend to have 3 to 4 exclusives at their con, specifically for Dragon Ball, and the rest of the members fit that number. So you'll have your Raccoon, your Berta, your Jace, and Goldo. And in fact, speaking of Goldo, don't be surprised, and I know a lot of fans will hate this, but this is not my original idea. Got this from my good man S.h.figuarts. Don't be surprised if they make Goldo its own figure this time around. They give him a little articulation and whatnot. Don't be surprised if they do that. Don't put it past Tamashi to do that. Only thing that would suck is, once again, it's an event exclusive. And so, even though the event exclusives tend to go up on pre-order on Premium Bandai anyways, sorry for the background noise, but since they go up for pre-order on Premium Bandai anyways, I guess it's not too bad. But once again, we have the issue of we have the issue of them not shipping to every country, right? So another thing is that this figure, going back to the KAIO-KEN Goku, right? So one last thing I wanted to talk about. I originally created this picture so y'all can see the difference in packaging between the two figures, but also Burst said that this was a Target/Walmart exclusive, and I believe he got that information from this Discord group, right? And I posted a screenshot of it, but Burst was like, man, I sure hope that they don't make this a thing where, you know, they start doing store exclusives. But then I was like, you know, I put forth this notion, hey, you know, of course they would do this. And the reason why I say of course they would do it is because Hasbro has done it. So just because Hasbro does it means Tamashi has to do it? No, but they both companies looking to make money. And so why wouldn't they follow a bigger company's model? Especially since there's been surveys where they straight up ask, what other action figure lines do you collect? And Marvel Legends have been on that list. So, for better or worse, whether they start picking up even more big business practices from Hasbro, this makes sense in that regard. They probably seen that there's probably collectors that collect these other action figure lines, and it's like, oh, we have like for example, if they happen to have a lot of overlap with Marvel Legend collectors, then they understand that those Marvel Legend collectors are more conditioned to buying a certain way, right? So they're more conditioned to looking for the Walgreens exclusive, the Target exclusive, the Walmart exclusive. Y'all get the picture. So they could possibly pull that stunt and not have much pushback from it because they already have that overlapping fan base that's used to it already. You feel what I'm saying? So this is very interesting. Also, I almost forgot about this part too. So another thing that made this release so suspicious is that this came out of nowhere, or so we think, right? It came out of nowhere in a sense that it was like, yo, where did this come from? Like, y'all didn't give no type of announcements. This wasn't on type of any release list. But at the same time, think about it. If y'all, of course, y'all know I primarily cover Dragon Ball action figure news, right? And I'll review non-Dragon Ball stuff, but that's besides the point. But there's a Street Fighter figure, the Street Fighter Guile figure, right? He had no type of promo or build-up. They just said, yo, he coming out. That's it. And I was like, yo, where did this come from? Y'all dropped this out of nowhere. And so this is the same thing, that stunt that they pulled with Goku. So it's consistent is what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it makes sense, but it's consistent, right? So it's Tamashi's been. Will we be getting more Phantom releases? As I think my man Burst said, or he might have said something similar to that. Either way, will we be getting more Phantom releases where they just pop up at a store and we like, yo, is this real? Is it fake? Who knows? I wouldn't put it past them to do more stuff like this in the future where you just pop up at a store and be like, yo, what's this? Since when? How? When? Where? You just have so many questions, right? But yeah, Tamashi out here throwing the curveballs, for better or worse. I think this is cool because it allows people to not, for example, have to buy from Premium Bandai. I know people don't like that site at all for a myriad of different reasons. I've beat that horse to death over and over. But with that being said, I think I covered everything I want to cover for this video. This has been Bombastic Plastic. Thank you guys for the immense amount of support. I hope that you guys continue to do so. And until next time, have a blessed day.